What if the mask you wear every day, the perfect smile you flash at a crowded office party in Chicago, the chill vibe you post on TikTok to impress your followers, or the polite nod you give at a family reunion in Ohio, is hiding a deeper, truer you? Carl Jung, the genius behind analytical psychology, called this mask the persona, a shield you've crafted to survive the world's expectations. But here's the jaw-dropping twist. That mask might be locking you out of your real purpose, and lurking behind it is a shadow, a dark side packed with secrets that could transform your life forever. In this video, we're launching into a mind-blowing journey through Jung's Jungian philosophy, uncovering 7 powerful archetypes that live inside your psyche, waiting to guide you to wholeness. From the persona to the shadow, the anima and animus, the hero, the great mother, the divine child, and finally the self, we'll explore how these hidden forces can awaken your soul and rewrite your story. If you're ready to peel back the layers, face your inner darkness, and discover who you really are, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into this epic inner adventure. Because your true self is calling, and it's time to answer. Born in 1875 in Switzerland and passing in 1961, Carl Jung revolutionized psychology with his concept of the psyche, a vast inner world split between the conscious ego, what you know about yourself, and the unconscious, what you don't. The persona, your social mask, helps you navigate life. Picture it as the professional you on a virtual team call from San Francisco, the fun you at a Florida beach party, or the perfect parent you play at a school event in Texas. It's not fake. It's a necessary armor shaped by society's demands, protecting you from judgment and organizing your roles as a friend, employee, or partner. But when you start believing that mask is you, when you live to impress your boss in New York, win likes on Instagram, or avoid rocking the boat at a Thanksgiving dinner in Georgia, you drift from your true self. That nagging emptiness you feel scrolling through curated lives online, or that unease sitting silently at a friend's barbecue in Nashville, that's the sign you've lost touch with your soul. Jung warned, the more you cling to the persona, the farther you stray from wholeness, trapped in a life that feels like someone else's script. This video isn't about ripping off the mask, it's about crossing the bridge it builds to something greater. The journey begins with awareness. Pause and reflect. How often do you say yes to avoid conflict? Like a New York barista nodding to a rude customer just to keep the peace? How many times do you smile when you're hurt? Like a Chicago nurse after a grueling shift, hiding your exhaustion to seem fine? How often do you act out of fear of rejection or craving acceptance? Like a Portland influencer curating every post to fit the aesthetic? That's the persona's game, and we all play it. But few dare to hit pause and look deeper. Jung's insight? Behind that mask waits your shadow, a part of you you've exiled. Maybe it's anger that flares in a DC traffic jam when someone cuts you off, jealousy over a colleague's raise in Seattle, or a buried dream of dancing you've dismissed as silly because you're too old. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's an archetype, a living guide holding repressed desires, fears, and even forgotten strengths like resilience, creativity, or boldness. It emerges in dreams as a stranger, a monster, or a rival, and in life as sudden outbursts or creative sparks you can't explain, like a tech worker in Austin suddenly sketching during a meeting, despite years of suppressing their artistic side. Facing the shadow is your first step to awakening. Jung said, "Those who look outside dream. Those who look inside awaken." Imagine a Chicago teacher snapping at a student, then realizing it's frustration from a stalled career dream of writing a novel. That's the shadow speaking. It's not about control or destruction, it's about dialogue. Grab a journal and commit to 10 minutes daily. What traits surprise you? When do you feel out of sync with yourself? A Miami mom might uncover a hidden love for gardening, buried by her supermom persona that demands she focus only on her kids. Recognizing it, Not fighting it frees you. Without this, the shadow silently shapes your relationships. Think of an Atlanta dad overworking to avoid his fear of inadequacy, pushing his family away in the process. It shapes your choices, like a Denver student avoiding risks to fit a safe persona, and your worldview, like a Phoenix retiree judging others to mask their own insecurities. Bring it to light with compassion, and it becomes an ally, guiding you toward authenticity. Here's a practical tip. Next time you judge someone's laziness, like a coworker slacking on a project in LA, ask if you repress that trait in yourself. That same Denver student might realize they've been denying their need for rest, then schedule a self-care day, turning a shadow into a strength. Another example, a nurse in Houston might explode at a partner over a small issue, only to journal and uncover a shadow of suppressed grief from a patient's loss. Facing it, they seek therapy, healing through acknowledgement. But the journey doesn't stop there. It deepens with two more archetypes, the anima and animus. In men, the anima is the inner feminine, intuition, emotion, a muse that might appear in dreams as a wise woman, a seductive figure, or a nurturing mother. A Denver dad might project this onto his partner, idealizing her as the perfect woman, until he embraces his own sensitivity to connect with his kids on a deeper level, like reading bedtime stories with genuine warmth instead of rushing through. In women, the animus is the inner masculine, reason, action, a guide that can turn critical if repressed, like an internal voice saying, "You're not good enough." A Phoenix nurse might struggle with assertiveness, hesitating to speak up during rounds until she integrates this energy to advocate for her patients with confidence. These aren't strict gender roles, they're cosmic principles in every psyche balancing the soul. A Tucson retiree rejecting his anima might avoid vulnerability with friends, keeping conversations surface level at a local coffee shop, while a Minneapolis artist repressing her animus might doubt pitching her gallery show, fearing rejection. Accepting these archetypes transforms your life, turning love and creativity into authentic encounters, not escapes from loneliness. A couple in Orlando might find their arguments ease when they integrate these energies, the husband embracing his intuition to listen better, the wife using her animus to voice her needs clearly, fostering a true connection. Try this. Reflect on your relationships. Do you idealize or resent others? A Seattle barista might notice they project their anima onto a coworker, expecting emotional support they haven't cultivated within, then work on journaling their feelings to balance it out. Next emerges the hero, the indomitable force within you. Think of a San Francisco entrepreneur hitting rock bottom after a failed startup, their savings drained, and their confidence shattered. Or picture a Nashville singer losing a gig to a rival, watching their dreams slip away. The hero doesn't flee, it advances, even when the odds seem impossible. In myths, heroes slay dragons, symbols of unintegrated fears like self-doubt, or cross deserts of emptiness like a dry spell after a breakup in Seattle. For a Detroit activist facing backlash on a climate march, the dragon might be public scorn, the desert, the isolation of standing alone. This archetype drives you through crises, a health scare in Houston that forces you to rethink your lifestyle, or a job loss in Dallas that pushes you to start over. It's the part of you that confronts your shadow head-on. The hero's courage isn't bravado, it's facing fear with raw honesty. Like a teacher in Atlanta letting go of perfectionism to innovate her classroom with creative projects, even if they might fail. The hero mediates between ego and self, dying to old ways to be reborn with new clarity. Journal this. What crisis calls you to act? A Colorado hiker lost in a storm might find this hero energy, pushing through to safety despite panic. Or a single mom in Charlotte facing financial strain might channel her hero by taking a night class to pivot careers, confronting her fear of failure. The hero isn't just in epic battles. It's in the small acts, like a New Orleans chef trying a new recipe after a bad review, risking criticism to grow. Guiding the hero is the Great Mother, a primordial archetype of origin and return. She's the nurturing earth in dreams, the devouring ocean, or the cave of rebirth, appearing as Isis, Gaia, Mary, or Kylie across cultures. A farmer in Iowa losing a crop to drought might feel her dark face, the suffocating loss, then her healing through community support as neighbors rally to help. For a young mom in Charlotte, she might be the instinct to protect her kids, balanced by releasing control as they grow, like letting her teen navigate a school conflict alone. This ambivalence, life and death, nurturing and destruction, teaches acceptance. Only by embracing both can you rebirth, like a writer in Seattle finding inspiration after a rejected manuscript, turning pain into a new story idea. She's the womb of the psyche, demanding surrender, not regression, to reconnect with your roots. A mechanic in Tucson struggling with his shop might feel her dark side and failure, the fear of losing everything, then her light in a mentor's guidance rebuilding with new skills. Meditate on this. Where do you need to let go? A student in Boston might realize they're clinging to a toxic friendship, channeling the Great Mother's wisdom to release it and heal. A barista in Portland, overwhelmed by work, might feel her nurturing side by taking a day to rest, rediscovering balance. From this rebirth comes the divine child, a symbol of latent potential and renewal. Imagine a kid in Minneapolis starting over after a failed venture, dreaming of a radiant baby glowing with hope. It's not literal, it's a promise after chaos, a spark of what's possible. A retiree in Phoenix volunteering at a shelter might feel this child, rediscovering joy and helping others after years of feeling done. The child needs care, not coddling, but honoring. Like a Colorado hiker finding peace after a storm, sitting by a river to reflect. It's the self's guidance, transforming without explaining, completing the cycle when united with the Great Mother's energy. A baker in Savannah failing a wedding cake might see this child in a new recipe idea, turning failure into growth by baking for a local charity event. Reflect, what new beginning calls you? A teacher in Detroit, burnt out, might feel this spark by starting a small poetry club for students, reigniting their passion. A gamer in Austin, losing a tournament, might channel this child by training with a new strategy, finding joy in the process. Finally, the self emerges, the archetype of wholeness, the pinnacle of Jung's psychology. It's not a perfect ego or an idealized version of you. It's the union of opposites, light and shadow, masculine and feminine, reason and instinct. It's a silent compass, appearing in dreams as a mandala, a wise elder, a golden child, or a sacred animal. A Dallas salesperson owning a past mistake, like missing a big client, might feel it as harmony, forgiving themselves and improving their pitch. Integrating it means accepting flaws through surrender, not force, like a Houston nurse admitting burnout and taking a mental health day, finding balance. Symbols like circles, temples, or a light at a cave's end mark this, healing suffering by giving it meaning. A mechanic in Tucson after saving his shop might dream of a mandala, feeling a newfound peace in his work. Jung's ultimate truth? Life's goal isn't happiness, but becoming who you are, fully, authentically, scars and all. A student in Boston flunking a test might find this self in renewed focus, studying with purpose, not just for the grade. A farmer in Iowa after a tough season might feel it in the gratitude of a small harvest, embracing the cycle of struggle and growth. This journey isn't linear, it's a spiral. A crisis, like a layoff in San Diego, might pull you back to the persona's safety, but each step builds consciousness. Notice patterns. A jealous outburst at a friend's success, a creative urge to paint after years of ignoring it, a dream of a shadowy figure. These are your archetypes speaking. Share below. Which archetype resonates most right now? Maybe the hero's call in a career shift, or the Great Mother's nudge to rest. I've also got a resource for you, my ebook, Beyond the Shadow, breaks down Jung's ideas with practical tools to deepen your journey. Check the pinned comment for the link. Like this video to spread this transformative wisdom, subscribe for more deep dives into self-discovery, and let's keep this inner quest going together. Your true self is waiting, and every step brings you closer.